Hey, April.
Hi, Kathy.
We haven't done this in a while, and I think it's about time.
It's about time.
I know. It's time to let's talk about. There's just so much going on in
Arlington.
Oh my God, it's so much going on right now, and it's just crazy to me, super crazy to me. And just some of the things that are going around the political circle, and I hear so much rhetoric without really investigating, and people listening to candidates just and not really verifying, is that really true or anything? I can sum it up in one word: discord. I have not seen so much discord. I've seen it, but I haven't seen it as much as I have now. It's just crazy. It's crazy. I mean, I know you've been seeing a lot of stuff, so.
I have seen a lot of stuff. You know, I think that's the name of the game, right? Mm-hmm. They want to confuse you. They want to throw so much information at you. Mm-hmm. They want to have so many catchy taglines and, unverifiable information out there, wrong information out there, anything that's catchy, even if it's wrong. I mean, just let's take Paxton and Tallarico. Mm-hmm. What makes Paxton a criminal? How are we seeing people, how is he a criminal? Mm-hmm. And
they're just throwing the buzzwords, like throw your facts behind it.
I won't support a criminal. Well, what makes him a criminal?
Right.
You know, what did he do? What criminal activity did he do? Mm-hmm. And when you ask people that, a lot of times they can't tell you.
They can't. They're just parrots. Mm-hmm. They're just repeating.
Paul, you want a cracker? Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, this is just casual conversation here, and you're right. And so, there's a lot of rhetoric out there that they're just repeating stuff. And
there was a guy that didn't get convicted. Right?
Yeah. My understanding is that he didn't get convicted. It was a pedophile. He didn't get convicted, and he got let loose. Well, because it was a hung jury. Some jurors sympathize with the pedophile, and that's not something that is in his control. When he's prosecuting or whatever, and it's the jurors, and my understanding is that the parent, the mom, it's like, I don't want my kid to go through this again, and I don't blame her. Mm-hmm. It's traumatic. I don't blame her. So, and that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Like, okay, somebody's accusing somebody of something. Right. All right, that's great, and just because your friend, sister's brother's father's aunt said it.
His uncle.
Yeah. And it has to be true. And so, yeah. And
I saw it online. It has to be true. I saw it on Instagram.
I saw it on TikTok of all.
I saw it on YouTube.
Yes, it
was on Google. It was in ChatGPT.
Yeah.
This is all fact.
It has to be true.
It has to be true.
And that to me is really interesting, because people like in my generation, I'm like, okay, you're not even in the younger generation that depends on Google and all that kind of stuff. I mean, you're like in my generations. And what happened? Where did the common sense go? I mean, honestly, I know journalism has gone out the door. It's more, to me, journalism today is more like a sitcom. It's more of a, I don't know, like they want their own show, and it's more opinion than facts.
Right. I mean, really? Yeah. So if you think about the mainstream media, that's true. So you have to rely on certain podcasts to get real journalism, and those podcasts have to be in those communities, like right in the action. But you also have to consider their source, right? So if you want to hear negativity regarding someone, then there's a certain source you go to, right? If you want to hear positive things, there's a certain source you go to. And so I always tell people, I'm a firm believer, if you hear something, if you're a positive person, you're going to find the positive in what you heard. And if you're a negative person, then you're going to find the negative, right? And so I can say I support teachers, right? Because I do support teachers. But if you're a negative person, you're going to say, so you don't support students, you don't support students having rights and this and that and blah 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 blah, right? So you can nitpick at anything that anyone says and have an issue with it, and that's what we're seeing right now in politics today.
Yeah,
we're seeing a bunch of nitpicking, and like I said, any tag, the buzzwords, he's a criminal.
yeah.
That's the biggest thing I don't understand. People you have people in the Republican Party that's saying they won't vote for a criminal. They have independents saying they won't vote for a criminal. Mm-hmm. And so it's interesting to me because what matters to me is the core value.
Yeah.
What matters to me is the way you're going to vote on policies, and which one aligns best with what I want in my community and in my state. Yeah. And I want girls to be protected. I don't want my daughter to have to share a restroom with a man. I want my girls to be protected in sports. There's certain values, right, that I have that is bigger to me. And a lot of times people get caught up in their lens and their view instead of looking at the bigger picture. Right. And that's what we're seeing with Tallarico and Paxton race. Because Tallarico, for me, if you're Christian, I don't even see how you can vote for him, yeah. Because from my understanding, if you're not for God, you're against him. And
that is super interesting that you bring that up, because Tallarico, I mean, he's flip-flopped so much. He really has. And the thing is that,
is he a vegan or does he like barbecue?
Yeah, right. And it's like, there's video out there that he has. Okay, I'll bring up the sensitive subject. I mean, he is on video saying that he doesn't agree with transitioning kids. Mm-hmm. Now he's saying, rah, I'm all for it.
Right.
And it's like,
so you're going to appeal to the voters,
right? You're
right?
going to whatever they want to hear, mm-hmm. And it's, to me, it's okay. I understand that people change their minds, but to me, just the way he's done it, it's so blatant.
So that's when you have to look at the track record. So from what I understand, there were some laws against pedophiles, and he voted against them 3 times. Mm-hmm. And so you have to look at the track record, while you're calling Paxton a criminal because a person got, they had a hung jury. Mm-hmm. But then you have a person that voted against laws to make sure that there won't be a hung jury in the future. Mm-hmm. You have to look at it like from a bigger viewpoint, right? And not just, what affects you as a whole, but what affects Texas, right? Not just your community, not just your family, but Texas as a whole, because we're all interdependent. Like we are one state, you know.
Yeah, agreed. And like what you brought up about protecting girls. And I'll say this is that being a sexual assault survivor, and as a child, and several times throughout growing up, you want to have that safe space. Mm-hmm. You just do. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting to me because there are more girls that feel like, I don't want that, but are afraid to say that out loud because of how much hatred comes towards them.
They don't want what?
They don't want to say or be vocal, like, I don't want a guy in my bathroom.
Okay. Yeah.
Because they could get bullied and they can be called, homophobe or whatever phobe, whatever the buzzword is of the day. And so it's interesting to me how this has accelerated in the last 5 years on, I mean, the world has just turned around. And some people
it's
can
not really
say,
interesting to me that accelerated, because you have to think about it. It started with that Great Society, right? The Democrat L.B. Johnson wanted to take removing fathers from the home.
oh God, yeah,
Okay,
he did.
that started in the black community, right? But it has spilled over, and so now it's not just black fathers that are not at home. There's some white fathers that are not at home. Hispanics have still been holding on. They've been keeping their families whole, but it's turning. It's definitely turning. They are starting to embrace Western culture, where, hey, you know, I don't need a man to raise my kids. I don't need a man to be in my home because I make enough money, as if money is the only thing that defines a man and the reason why he should be at home. But that's a different topic. When you think about it, because there's so many homes that are ran by women, these boys are being coddled. And because they're around their moms, their grandmothers, their aunties, they're picking up feminine ways. Even in our food, the BHA and the TBQ, they're causing the ADHD, but it's also giving a lot of estrogen in our food for our boys, so they're having chemical imbalance. And then they're around women more, so they're picking up feminine ways. And so the mom says, you know what, I want my boy to feel I want him to feel how he wants to feel today, and how this and this and that and that. And it's because, honestly, it's time for your son to be around his father, or some type of male role model.
Well, women can't teach a boy how to be a man. They can't. They have, like, open the door, do this, but I'm talking about to be a man's man.
Yeah,
they can't.
Yeah,
they
can't. I can see that, because there will be some women that will disagree and say, no, you know, I raised my son and he never got into law trouble, and he's always been straight A's, and he's done this and he's done that, and blah blah blah.
We don't know what the boys go through. We don't know biologically what they're going through. We do not.
And because your son has not had trouble with the law, because he's doing well in school, does not mean that's all that consists of, you know, teaching a man to be a man.
Yeah.
And so that's where,
I mean, fathers need to be, they need to be involved.
Right, they definitely do, because at the end of the day, men are supposed to be providers. Yeah. They are. I mean, a lot of people like, I don't need a man to provide for me. I don't need a man to open the door. Well, guess what? I don't need a man to open my door, but I will stand there at that door.
Yeah, I know you will.
Open that door.
We won't even go there.
Please don't.
Okay. All right. So let me jump. I want to get a few subjects here. Okay. So recently I was at the Commissioner's Court, and
I was with you. We missed the excitement.
I know. We had just walked out.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. That was something. But that whole, that part. That whole fiasco was crazy, because here's what I say about this. I'm all for everybody needs to vote. Everybody that can vote should vote, should vote their conscience, should vote their whatever. Yes. And when the election administrator came up and said, hey, this is a proposal, and it was very significant. The first one that said, I don't like this, I don't agree with this, is Judge O'Hara. He was the first one. Then everybody, and he even said, nobody on here has looked at these numbers. I mean, we just saw it. And so that was a lot of conversation.
But let me tell you where he has a missed opportunity. It's just like her team and her supporters have little snippets, and they continue to broadcast. If you look at, they continue to repost the same image and the same things over and over. His team is not doing the same thing. And so where he's saying, I don't agree with this, I don't like this, I will be broadcasting it.
Well,
everywhere.
He is. I saw some recently.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have seen
he's
some.
not doing a good enough job, because I see all of her stuff.
Oh yeah, her
and
stuff.
I don't even follow her, and I follow him. So it's crazy, right? What is up with this algorithm?
Yeah. Good question.
I can't see the information from the people that I follow, but you're suggesting I follow these people.
Well, there you go. That may be something there.
Yeah.
So, okay. So then you have, and when you sign up, I mean, it clearly says, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that, blah, blah, blah. and that's part of the decorum, right? And it's like, do you agree? Sign here, click here, submit. And then you have somebody that comes in and doesn't do it. Right. Then all of a sudden, suppressing their speech, and he's a tyrant, he's all this. Like, okay, did you not read don't do's? So why, if you agreed to the don't do's, that you do it? And then think why, that you're not going to be called out on it.
Well, what's the alternative? Because it's like, I want to be heard. I don't agree with everything, but in order for me to speak, I have to agree. So there's really no alternative. Do I think that some of the rules should be lax? I do, but do I think they're ever going to be? No, because of the theatrics that they continue to do. And so for me, it's hard for you to continue to say, hey, you're not listening to me. And when you get up there, what are you saying? You're saying more if you're not listening to me instead of actually stating your case. What is the issue that you have?
Yeah, but he didn't have to pick that up and do all that. I mean,
he didn't. That's my point.
Yeah.
So he's doing all of that versus saying how he feels about a certain subject.
Well, and he didn't get heard on the certain subject.
And he didn't get heard on it. We don't know what his viewpoint on is, because he rather attack the process than to actually share, what it is. What is it that you wanted to share? What is your objective, right?
Yeah.
And so I don't think his objective was to, come against anything that was on the agenda. I think his objective was to
make a point. Yeah, make a point that I want you to change the rule. Okay, well then you should have just said that.
Right.
Why do the three?
Because honestly, what can you say in 1 minute? What can you say in 2 minutes? I believe
it's because there's so many people,
and I do understand that. I still feel like it should be 3 minutes. Like 100 people want to speak. Well, let's get the first 50 and let's look at these addresses and let's see, okay, let's do the driver's license number in order to speak, right? And so we can say, well, each commissioner's court, this person speaks 5 times or this, and so we want to get some new individuals in.
They changed it.
Let's do something like that.
Yeah.
But give them a long enough time to really feel heard, because what's happening is that our community isn't feeling heard. Mm-hmm. And because they're not feeling heard, they're aligning themselves with someone who says she hears them, right? But she has
her own agenda.
Exactly.
She does. She has her own agenda. And, and that's another thing is that
there's a balance. A lot of people is like, if you're not on this end and you're way across the spectrum on this end. Mm-hmm. And it's like, no, we need a balance.
Yeah, we need a balance. And what's really sad about this thing is that there is to me, and this is my personal opinion, it is a missed opportunity because you have a woman, a black woman.
The only woman in Commissioner's Court.
Could
That's my problem. She can a major impact to where you can bring people together, where you can bridge the divide.
More division. And it just boggles my mind. Like, you had this opportunity, right, and instead there's division, right. And it's like it did not. The leadership is not coming through. Causing all this ruckus is not leadership.
Let me tell you. We were there, and when she wanted to redo the resolution,
she's 101 years old.
She wanted to redo the resolution. Mm-hmm. And so her missed opportunity is, instead of attacking how they wrote their resolution, mm-hmm, I would have said, like, because she started out, well, you have an agenda. You're seeking to do this. You're seeking to do that. 10 minutes of nothing but negative. And then you say, well, this is how I would have rewrote it. And let me read it off, right? And there was a motion to, amend.
Add the
right?
amendment.
Mm-hmm. And they already knew it wasn't going to pass. Mm-hmm. And so my thing is, why insult them? Exactly. Because you can feel a certain way, and you can have conversations behind closed doors to say, hey, the way this is reading is coming off like this, and I don't know if that's really your intention, because you can you can write something or you can post something, and this is what you meant to say,
Right.
versus
I get it.
you know how it's perceived, right? And
It was
so
a missed opportunity.
it was a missed opportunity where she could have said clearly, she could have said, you know, I support what we're doing right here with Corporal Graves, and I am a veteran supporter. I agree with this resolution. I just want to change some of the wording. And if we did this wording, do you guys have any issues with this wording here? And she could have left it like that instead of attacking them.
Just attack.
You know, because
There's no
had they approved it, they would have been acknowledging that what she said about, you know, them having an agenda, them wanting to use it as a political stunt and all these things, that would have been acknowledging it was true. So it was not going to pass. So my thing is it more important for you to get your objective through and pass, or is it more important to be divisive?
Yeah. And I think it's the latter at this point. I mean, I'm just being honest. It's like the vote on the 250th. I mean, that's a no-brainer. I mean, we're celebrating America 250, and for the suggestion to be I'm voting against it because there's not enough inclusive wording. And to me, it's like, well, aren't they Americans?
Right.
I mean, why are we segregating a population in something that applies to all Americans? It doesn't matter about race, religion, or sexual orientation. We're all Americans. So why do we need to do inclusion
What I love
wording?
about old people. Old people just say how it is. Because my grandfather would say, because they're stupid. You know, that's what he would say. Right? But the politically correct way. It kind of reminds me of Ice Cube. He wrote the Black Contract or Black Agenda or something like that. And he was saying how, you know, the Black community doesn't need to be tied to a party. How we really need to make sure that each party is working for our vote, so that our communities can, you know, have unity, rise, and start receiving some type of benefit for voting a certain way we vote, right? And you had the podcast with Vivica Fox and Lisa Ray and all the others, and they were just saying, you know, he wrote the Black Contract and he didn't say anything about Black women. Well, when does Black people not include Black women?
That's what I'm talking about.
You know, so
it's all
that's
inclusive
right.
already.
And so that was a tagline that, you know, Ice Cube isn't about us. He's not like he used to be in the NWA days. NW, right? A.
No,
yeah, NWA. Why are you making me feel like I don't know? But it's NWA. He's like he's something different, and he's not. Right? But there's a way. But because he's had more exposure, because he now is more mainstream, he knows how he's identified. You know, you have to bring people together to get something passed. You have to bring things together to build and have and maximize the impact that you have. You know?
Yeah, and to me, it's okay to agree to disagree. It's okay. You know, we're not all going to agree to everything. We're not. And that's, I mean, I've even said that. I mean, even the Republican meetings, you know, like I said, the 80-20 rule, right? I mean, they have to know how to play in the sandbox, and so that to get things done. Right. And there's not 100% of anything. I mean, nobody's going to be 100% of anything. They may be 100% on a topic, but when you look at the grand scheme of things, especially in politics, you're not going to be 100% on everything. I mean, there has to be negotiation power. But let me kind of dovetail into something else here, because we're talking about a lot of topics, right? So I know when you ran, I ran. And one of the things that I was told early on is make sure your signs are right, make sure you got everything, because there's sticklers on it. You know, the Texas Ethics Commission, they're just like, if you don't do this, you could get fined. If you file your report late, you can get in trouble, etc. So we have people that have ran in local elections and
On the council, possibly serving on the council.
possibly, and it's like, okay, your numbers don't look right. Is that an oversight, or do you not care about that? Because you can really get in trouble with that. You can get a complaint against you, and so that's not a good thing. Or why haven't you filed your last report? Especially if the previous report hasn't been closed. So why haven't you done that? And so you start to think like, you wanted our vote because you said you're fiscally responsible and you're got it together and you're gonna follow the rules and all this stuff. So you want us to know that you're fiscally responsible and then obeying these rules, and then you don't. But yet you still want us to trust you with all of our money.
Right.
So that just speaks volumes to me.
But you can't be trusted with your own campaign finances.
Yeah, that is interesting to me. It's unfortunate because I've seen some already, and I'm thinking, I can tell you that if it were you or me or anybody that didn't file, not only file but file it right, oh no, it'd be all over the place. It'd be all over the place. So,
well, that's
okay.
Because
I'm glad I closed mine out.
Right. Uninformed voters vote for uninformed candidates.
There you go. You summed it up. Yeah, you summed it up.
Like, you know what?
People are. These are job interviews, and even though a person may not have that particular experience, but
care if you can do the job.
I know.
They just care if they like you.
But informed voters. Okay, let's just go with that. They are the managers, and you are interviewing to see, hey, okay, you never done this job? Okay, cool. But what kind of skill set do you bring? Okay, and can that skill set be used in this job? That's really what happens. But you're seeing more and more they don't care about skill set. They just want somebody that they like, a friend, and it don't matter that they don't have any skill set, and they are a one issue. And the reason I say one issue, you got some PACs here in Arlington that it is more one issue. And because I've listened, I've seen their stuff, I don't see where the candidates they supported. I mean, I don't see where, what's the word, where they talk about, they're going to save us money, they're going to lower our taxes, they're going to really make sure our streets are doing this or that or not doing this or that, and they're going to really bring some great ordinances, they're going to bring in the economy, nothing like that. It's more of a social type thing. They're with us.
Yeah.
In the long term, that's going to hurt the city.
Because that's what happens when people go in and they mess something up. Then there's a paradigm shift, and then they bring new people in to clean it up. But how far low do we have to go before we bring the right people in to clean it up is the issue. Arlington has
we're fact over feeling people. We are fact over feeling people.
Arlington has a reputation of just voting for friends, and they don't care if their friends can do the job because they're not being impacted by the poor decisions that their friends are voting for because they're more affluent, or if there is something that doesn't benefit a community, these people are well enough to where the impact is not as hard as it is to this community. And so it's very unfortunate. I know for me, I've tried to be a bridge myself. There's some PACs that are out there, and if they really admit it, they like me. I mean, I talked to all of them. And even the ones that didn't want to talk to me or didn't want to hug me, I've come up and I've just been my genuine self. And they really can't identify why they don't like me besides,
Well,
hey,
when you're walking next to me,
you
they
hang with Roger DeFrame.
Sorry, Roger. Yeah.
So many people have told me, I don't like you because you associate yourself with Roger. And that's enough for them. Roger has and I'm just like, man, that's crazy for me, because if you ask Roger how many times he and I have butted heads.
You and I.
We've butted heads. Like, I have butted heads with a lot, because at the end of the day, if I'm your friend, if I'm a person that, I don't get my time back. If I'm not with you, if I'm with you, that means I'm not selling the home or I'm not with my children. So, my time is precious. And if I can't tell you how your ways and action affects me, affects people in my community, if we can't have an honest and dialogue and hold each other accountable, then I don't want that relationship.
Well, you want to have, I know with you and I mean, we've had discussions that, no, I don't agree with this or I agree with that. And it's okay. It's like, well, we just don't agree on certain things, and not a whole lot of things, and we leave it there. It's not
that's
going
because
to.
we have emotional IQ, right? We're mature in certain areas. Because we started off as opponents, and now we're like the best of friends. And there's an age difference, but when I'm around you, I don't see the age difference. I really enjoy your company. I really, you brighten my day. You pour into me. I know I pour into you. It just works. We argue, but we afterwards we're like, all right, girl, bye. And I like
talk
that.
about me and forget that you hung up the phone.
Whereas, I had a disagreement, and I'll say it, with Nikki Hunter. I thought Nikki and I were great friends, and she was at an event, and I was about to speak for about a minute, and she decided to leave. And I only had a minute to speak. I felt like, you're my friend. You should want to hear what I got to say, And so I shared that, and she was like, well, I had to go get somewhere else. And I'm just like, yeah, but I'm your friend, and this is the first time that you would be hearing me speak for, a position that you said that you would love to support, because you've seen how I've supported you, And she didn't like the conversation, like the one-on-one conversation. She didn't like me holding her accountable. And so, you can feel the distance. You can feel you can feel that she didn't value the relationship as much as I thought the relationship was there.
Is there any way that can be salvaged, do you think?
I don't think so, because honestly, if a person tells you, hey, this is how they were hurt or offended, and you double down and you justify, you don't care about how it hurt or offend them. Right? Because if I'm your friend, most people have friends, you want the support of your friends and family. And I was asking you to listen to me for a 1 minute speech. Because Roger literally ran me about it, but 1 minute. And I was hoping for a response where she would say, girl, I didn't even know you were going to be up there for 1 minute. I could have given you 1 minute, or, hey, in the future, I can't wait to see you, or blah, blah, blah. But no, she doubled down and got an attitude and everything. And I'm like, whoa, let's bring it back. I'm just sharing with you because I'm thinking we have that type of relationship. And it's unfortunate because I lost another friend supporting her. But that's who I am. I don't allow people to talk about my friends if I'm there. And so I lost that friend. And I will, it just is what it is. And so people come to me now like, you stood up for Nikki and you did all that, and look how she did you. Look how she turned out. She's not even your friend. And she was like, I bet you wouldn't do that again. And I was like, no, I would, because that's who I am at the core. Like, there's no way I'm gonna call you my friend and hear somebody talking about you and not defend you. Like, I don't need you to be there. I got you. That's just who I am. Mm-hmm. And I don't care who you are politically. I don't care if you're old, young, who you are. If you say something that I don't agree with, I'm gonna let it be known.
Well, it's a shame.
We had our one-on-one. We definitely had our one-on-one.
Well, it's a shame.
It is what it is. At the end of the day, is she a great councilman? I think she is. I've never seen a person work so hard, especially and beautify in the community.
Yeah.
doing lawns, making sure if there's a pothole, a light not working, she's doing what she's supposed to do. And that's what people should be voting for. Can you do the job? Not whether or not if I like you as a person.
Where you're coming through. Yeah,
Right.
she's out there. She
Right.
is out there, no doubt.
Right. You definitely want someone that can execute and that wants to help out her constituents, and I think she does that.
Yeah, she does do that. Well, as we go into November, and it's just really interesting how just the political environment, and I'm concerned. I'm just really concerned about how our city is turning out. I mean, and really, people are tired. They're tired, and they are. When I was block walking last week, I talked to some independents, and I ran into this one guy, and he was telling me, I'm not going to vote. And I'm like, really? Why? And he says, because everything's bought, everything's this, everything's that. And I said, I understand the frustration. I get it. But just going and doing your part, knowing that you did your part regardless, is what matters.
And doing your own research.
Doing your own research. And that's the thing. People really, they rely on all these outside sources to tell them rather than them like, well, let me verify it. And that's just, the age of technology's got them that way. Everybody's gotten so used to scrolling. They want it so fast because if it's this much line on it, I can read it. But if it's this much, it's too much. They've trained their mind not to focus, and that's really sad to see. So we have so much at stake, and it's just really interesting to me that there are so many people that literally are righting the wrong. It's like the wrong is right and the right is wrong. And I'm talking, when I say that, I'm talking about policies, decisions, things like that. And it's just kind of crazy to me how people, how did we get here? How did we get here of it's okay? And again, I'm totally up to the trans community, totally up to that. To me, I've even asked some of the gay community. I've asked, okay, so when did the definition change? And they're like, I don't know. I go, because to me, transgender is like a Bruce to Caitlyn. They transition their gender. So when did that change? So
what you're seeing is like the people that sometimes they dress as a man, but sometimes they dress as a woman. They wouldn't be transgender.
They were called cross-dressers. Cross-dressers. Yeah, before. They were called cross-dressers. Gotcha. Yeah. And then you think about, a lot of the drag queen stuff. I'm like, okay, that was in the clubs before.
And now it's in the parks for our children.
It's in the parks, and it's in the schools. It's in the libraries. And it's like, but they're still dancing the same way as they did in the clubs. And is anybody doing any background checks on these men? Are they any of them pedophiles? That's what I'm saying. You can't, because then you're going to be some kind of a foe.
Masculinity is evil.
I know.
And so the more the man says that he's embracing his feminine side.
And the thing is that women don't even act like that.
Now he's less scary. And so it's okay for you to be around my little child. Because now I don't have to worry about you trying to touch my little girls.
Yeah, I don't.
It's okay for you to touch my little boy, though.
But but that's what I'm saying, that I don't understand the mentality of of people that it's okay. And I'm real big. I've always been this way, real big when it comes to kids. Okay, safety of kids, all this stuff. Let's keep them as innocent as possible for the longest
And
time.
they should be. They shouldn't be
They
sexualized at all.
shouldn't. I mean, because we're all born, we're all sexual beings born, and that's supposed to happen at the appropriate time in their life, right? Not at 5, 6 years old to be exposed to that. And I can tell you this, and my experience.
However, I'll stop you. If you take a little, kids are smarter than you think they are. If you take a 4-year-old, even a 3-year-old, and you have one that has a father in the home versus one that doesn't have a father in the home, those are going to be two different boys. Yeah. Two different, extremely different boys. The one that falls, that has a father in the home, he's going to fall and he's going to immediately hurry up and get up. And he's going to try it again. The one that falls with the mother in the home and no father in the home, he's going to cry, wait for his mom to come, and then he's not going to want to try it again.
Mm-hmm. But that's okay. I mean, those are the ones that give them a ribbon just for trying rather than achieving.
Right. And do I appreciate having a male in my home for those core years because that's when Ian was starting to develop his personality. I so appreciate that. I really do. And I would never say that man doesn't have a place in his home, doesn't have a place with his children, like that they're not needed, because they are so needed. You guys are so needed. We need you. We need you in the community. We need you volunteering in our schools. We need you voting. And as far as Commissioner's Court, it's a missed opportunity for me because I want to see a woman in that court. I think a woman should be in that court. And now when she loses, there will not be a woman in that court.
Yeah, and it's really sad that just the way the approach and even I'm going back to that. I mean, I know that her dislike for the one member, right, has really driven,
tainted the court.
I mean, it's like it has, and it's just it's like it's a circus.
I like Roderick Miles. I liked Dr. Brooks too. I liked them. Dr. Brooks was at me and Stephen's wedding. And so it's like what she's doing is something different. As she's intentionally being divisive. And
that's the part I don't like.
And I don't have a problem with her. I met her when I first started running. Pastor Kennedy Jones introduced me to her. But there was, I could see that the way do I believe she has a good heart and good intentions? I do believe that. Just the way she's doing it is just all wrong. And right now we don't need anyone in our community that's going to continue to promote and profit off of discord and racism.
Everything's racist, or everything
because this is how I feel about it. If I know that this institution is racist, I'm going to go and join that institution. And I'm going to challenge everything that I see. But the way I challenge is going to be different. I'm not there to cause discord. I'm there to ask questions and make them think. I want them to see how I know how to articulate and handle myself under stress. I want them to see how I can handle myself when I'm the only one in the room that knows me, likes me, wants to hear my recommendations. It's important how you handle yourself under stress, right?
That really shows who you are when you're under stress, and you don't blatantly go against your own court rules.
Because you got to think about this.
I mean, you just why? That's not strength to me.
How can she serve our community when she's built? She's burnt so many bridges. So she can have a a good program that she wants to get started. She can have some great ideas, but people won't even hear it. They won't even hear it.
Because all they hear is the divisiveness, yeah.
Right? Or because of how she presented it. And so you, as a community, we have to say, is it about this one person, or do we want our community to rise, right? Because, hey, I want to attach myself to someone that can get the job done. Yeah. So if I'm asking you
I don't care
to
about
get
the color.
this done,
yeah, I don't care about the color.
I want to make sure you can get it done.
That's all I care about.
But if your reputation is already burnt bridges, then you can't help me with this project, because actually you're going to hurt me more than you're going to help me.
Yeah, you are. And, I remember one thing that I saw, and it was something, because it says, no profanity, no whatever. And she just stands up and says, well, whatever the F. Right. And it's like.
When Brooklyn got in my face that time, and she was literally right here in my face, she wanted me to hit her, knock her out in my face. That's what she wanted. Her team was over there ready to film it, and she's in my face just yelling at me. And all I did was say, you would not talk to me like that. And I kept looking at her. You would not talk to me like that. You would not talk to me. And I continued to say that until someone got her out of my face, because she was starting to embarrass herself.
It's not. Because
I think enough pastors told her not to put that middle finger up anymore.
That is so bad.
Now instead of middle finger, it's...
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's crazy.
It's all theatrics at the end of the day.
It is.
I just want to make sure, like I said, I feel like people want to do more for the little clips than they care.
The sound bites.
The sound bites and all the Instagram and the Facebook, the social media things, instead of what have you done? What have you done?
And that's what it comes down to.
And it's not about, I put this up, but it got voted against. It got voted against. So
what have you done?
What can you do to get to mend the bridges? What can you do to give the people that you work with? Because on the commissioner's court, those other commissioners that judge, they have a belief about you. So how do you change that belief about you? You have to have more positive experiences with those people. Yeah. And she hasn't done enough to...
No, it continues. It continues.
It does.
The division
and so
continues.
She can't help you get what you need to get done in a community. She can't help you. Yeah. And you would say, well, he can't help either because he's done... No. He's still well respected. So if you need something from the sheriff... If you need something from the sheriff, boom, he can get it done.
And
if you need
the
something
taxes
from the
are low.
board,
They have not been raised. It's been below. He has done those things.
You need something from a senator. You need something from Washington. You need something. He knows he can get it done.
Because they respect him.
That's what you have to vote on.
Yes.
That's what you have to vote on. And so again, who can she call if you come to her and say, hey, I need this done in my church. I need this done in my community.
In my community, yes.
Who that's not on her team? I'm saying like the outreach part. And who that's not on her team can she actually execute with? And that's where you have to think, who can get the job done at the end of the day?
And she has burned a lot of bridges because of the rhetoric, because of how she has displayed herself. And that's the missed opportunity, because that's not strength. Mm-hmm. That's not strength. That's to me, and I'm not trying to rain on her parade, but as a woman, to me, that is the highest form of weakness, where you can't control yourself.
It definitely is.
It's weakness. And it's bad. You don't get any respect.
You're the only woman on that court. You don't have to be masculine on that court. You can embrace who you are.
Yes.
You know, because there's strength in being feminine. I know I've worked at Lockheed Martin. I've been in the Air Force. There were times where I was the youngest. There were times where I was the only black. There was times when I was the only female. And there was times when I was all three, being in the Air Force and working at Lockheed. And guess what? I never tried to be one of the good old boys. I never tried to do what they do, speak how they speak. I was always my own person. Am I opinionated? I am. Am I direct? Very. But I'm professional. I try not to be combative. I'll say what I say. I mean what I say. But I'm not going to continue to pour. It falls on deaf ears at that time, in that moment. And I want to make sure that when I open my mouth, that you actually listen to my recommendations, that you actually see some value in what I'm saying. And so that's what's important. So if I was on her team, I would tell her to stop with this. Stop with the theatrics.
Take a chill pill here. Yeah.
Because you're going to need more than the people that are supporting you. You're going to need more of those independents. You're going to need some conservatives to support you to get this role, right? Because what you're doing is big in Arlington, maybe big in Mansfield, but what about those other Tarrant County counties that are over there by Weatherford and other places?
Colleyville, South
right?
Lake, all those areas.
So that's what's important, you know. But I'm not on her team, and I'm not trying to be on her team at all.
No,
I'm
you're
just
not.
saying that I'd like to see a woman on the court. And
yeah, I wish it was like that. I
we don't
would love
have
that.
we don't have we won't have that anymore, and it's unfortunate.
Okay, well, a lot of topics we talked about.
We definitely did.
We did.
Hope you chop it up and break it down.
Yeah, I am going to chop it up and break it down. So,
right.
And the last thing I want to bring up, guys, is that we have an event coming up in October 25th. We are so
Legacy
excited.
of Valor.
Yes.
For my veterans, for my first responders.
Yes.
So excited.
That is something that we're very proud about because those are the real heroes in our communities. Yeah. Our first responders, our EMS people. I mean, we're talking about police, we're talking about firefighters, we're talking about EMS, we're talking about our military. If we didn't have them, it's a wrap. There is no community. And so we are going to be honoring them. Yes, we're going to be honoring them on October 25th. There are tickets that are on sale right now. It's limited seating. So we hope to see you guys there so you could see. We're going to be honoring several recipients out of each of those categories from Fort Worth, from Arlington, and Mansfield. We believe that it's deserving and that we need to highlight, look, these folks, all of them are doing a hard work, but we want to go ahead and highlight some of these folks and really give them some honor and then bring their brothers and sisters in that area as well as honoring them. So, and
we are also going to be giving money, everybody likes money, to organizations that are helping make a positive impact in the lives of those men and women in uniform. So we're excited about that.
Yes, more information is on arlingtonrepublicanclub.us. This isn't a political event. This is about the community. That's our focus.
Definitely.
That is our focus.
It definitely is.
So anyways, hope to see you guys there. April, thank you so much.
And it's about our community outreach too, so that you can see what we're doing and what our core values are and how we want to serve in our community and meet the needs that our community has.
Right, and we even picked a minority, event location. You know, somebody that owns it, he's a minority, and we wanted to give that opportunity to give back to him too.
Oh my gosh, I thought you was about to say, you know, what people say is like, I'm not racist, I have a black friend. Like, that's how you started it. I'm just saying, it's so funny.
Sorry, no. No, we wanted to give back in every area, even the place that we're having it. Okay,
local, yes,
local.
Yes.
I mean, we wanted just to really just give back. That's the whole focus on this. It is all about the real heroes. So, anyways, thanks.
We hope to see you there.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll talk.
Bye.
All right, guys, that wraps up today's episode of Truth Talk. Go ahead and like our page and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you're always the first to catch new episodes as they drop. And thanks for listening. We'll catch you on the next episode.